The day is May 31st, 2013, and storm chasers from all over the country are moving towards one spot, El Reno, Oklahoma. The extreme storm chaser convergence is due to the moderate risk with a 15% chance of tornadoes over central Oklahoma during late May, peak tornado season. However, the chaser convergence is made even worse because only 11 days prior, an EF5 tornado tore right through the suburb of Moore, Oklahoma. With the EF5 still fresh on everyone's mind, no one knows there's about to be another disaster, but this time, it would directly impact the storm chasing community. At 4:37 in the afternoon, a line of storms initiate west of El Reno. With the anticipation for what is about to happen, Mike Bettis reports live for the Weather Channel.
Very quickly, these storms fired up, and that's going to happen with all of these. We can follow in behind it on the safe side of it, stay out of the rain, stay out of the hail, and have a view of a tornado and keep everyone alerted as to what the danger is.
Unknowingly, Mike foreshadows what's about to happen. As the complex of storms matures, the southern storm begins to dominate and a massive hook forms on radar. At 6:03, a tornado touches down southwest of El Reno, Oklahoma. Immediately after touching down, the tornado exhibits a strange behavior. Instead of a single circulation, the tornado consists of many smaller, short-lived vortices that are extremely unpredictable. One of the chasers nearby is Oklahoma local Richard Henderson, who's out on his first storm chase. He captures the small vortices of the tornado as it touches down, although he doesn't have much time since the tornado is heading right towards him. Richard flees to the east, narrowly escaping the tornado. A mile away are storm chasers Brett Wright and Brandon Sullivan. Unlike Richard, these two have years of storm chasing experience. After recording the start of the tornado, they realize they're directly in the tornado's path, so they begin their escape south, away from the tornado. They leave early enough to evade the extremely strong core. However, the tornado is much larger than it appears. To the south of the core are powerful, invisible winds surrounding the tornado, blowing debris onto the road. Brett struggles in the debris-filled crosswinds before a hay bale is blown into them. Fortunately, Brett and Brandon survive the encounter. However, the tornado is marching towards dozens of other chasers, and it's only getting stronger. To the north of the tornado, a line of chasers frantically drive east, alongside the circulation. In the rear of the pack is Team Dominator, led by the legendary storm chaser Reed Timmer. His passenger records the monster tornado to their southeast. From their position, you can clearly see the outline of the massive tornado, despite it being wrapped in rain. Also, the tornado has immensely grown in size, and so have the subvortices at the core. No chaser, not even a tornado tank like the Dominator, is able to survive a hit from one of these powerful subvortices. In front of Team Dominator are the taillights of another notable storm-chasing team, Twistex. Inside the Twistex vehicle are three chasers, father and son, Tim and Paul Samaras, and longtime team member, Carl Young. Twistex is positioned extremely close to the tornado, since they are chasing with the goal of deploying a probe inside of the tornado. The line of storm chasers continue east until Team Dominator is stopped by power lines blocking the road. Right around the same time, Team Twistex realizes they're in danger, so they turn north away from the tornado. Henderson continues east, tracking alongside the tornado, likely unaware of how much danger he was in. At the same time, Mike Bettis is live reporting back to the Weather Channel.
Guys, that's it. Right there. Look at that monster. This is a huge tornado.
He realizes they don't have a lot of time since the tornado is getting closer by the second.
This thing is moving relatively slowly. We could be putting ourselves in a dangerous position here. We may actually quickly try to get in our cars and get south of this. I think we have to go now in order to stay ahead of this and not get run over by it.
Mike then makes the call to escape the tornado by going south on Highway 81. This is a huge mistake. As the Weather Channel crew frantically drives south, the tornado grows in size while also accelerating. The combination of growth and increased forward speed means that the tornado is effectively moving towards them at over 80 miles per hour. They have no chance of escape. Within minutes, the Weather Channel vehicle is at the core of the circulation.
Hold on, brothers. Hold on. Everybody duck, go. Just keep going if you can. Keep going if you can. Everybody duck down. Everybody duck down.
Their car is rolled 100 yards into the adjacent field. Somehow, everyone survives. But as the tornado barrels onwards, others would not be as fortunate. Immediately after striking the Weather Channel crew, the tornado turns north towards Richard Henderson, who's still driving east. Richard is caught in the violent core. His vehicle is thrown into the nearby field and is crumpled. Tragically, Richard does not survive. As the tornado is impacting Richard, it reaches a peak width of 2.6 miles wide, making it the widest tornado in recorded history. Meanwhile, to the north, Team Twistex and another chaser, Dan Robinson, are frantically driving east on Reuter Road. They are now driving through the outer bands of the circulation. As the core of the tornado approaches Twistex, the winds momentarily subside, and Tim becomes aware of the dire situation. Moments later, their vehicle is directly impacted. Their vehicle is tossed a third of a mile to the east. Tim, Paul, and Carl do not survive. A mile to the east, Dan Robinson abandons his car on the side of the road and takes cover in a ditch. Robinson narrowly escapes the violent core of the tornado that killed Twistex. Bruised and scraped, Dan gets back in his vehicle and flees south away from the monster storm. Soon after, the tornado terror would come to an end. In 40 minutes, this record-breaking tornado took 8 lives, 4 of which were storm chasers, with every death happening in a vehicle. This was the first time storm chasers had been killed by a tornado, and Team Twistex were some of the most experienced and well-respected chasers in the community. Storm chasers dying to tornadoes was always a possibility, but no one thought it would be them. Despite their decades worth of combined experience, they were not ready for the extremely erratic behavior, power, and size of the 2013 El Reno tornado. This traumatic event served as a lesson for the storm chasing community for years to come, but in 2019, another large group of storm chasers would take a direct hit from a strong tornado. Before I get into the next storm chasing incident, I'd like to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Vessi. Vessi is a high quality brand that makes the best sneakers. These shoes are perfect for me as a storm chaser because they are completely waterproof, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. This specific model is the Stormburst, which are designed to have additional traction. It's May 28th, 2019, and a moderate risk with a 15% chance for tornadoes is taking shape over Kansas, storm chasers' favorite state. Of the many chasers out that day, one group is the well-known storm chasing tour, Silver Lining Tours, led by veteran chaser Roger Hill. With over 35 years of experience and more than 2 decades running the tour, few, if any, can match Roger's experience around tornadoes. By 4 in the afternoon, a cluster of storms forms south of Topeka. The complex of storms evolves, and the southern storm develops into a fully mature supercell. Roger, being as experienced as he is, has seen this pattern unfold countless times and positions the tour group in the perfect spot. Soon after, the storm produces a tornado east of Carbondale, Kansas. But there's one problem. This is a high precipitation supercell. A type of supercell that is so loaded with rain and hail, any tornado it produces is essentially invisible, unless a storm chaser is willing to get close. Silver Lining Tours is well aware of the ongoing tornado, but given their position, they can't see anything. Instead of distancing themselves by continuing east, they make the aggressive decision to go north and position in the storm's notch, the only way to see a tornado on a high precipitation supercell. This is an extremely risky maneuver. However, they are not alone, as many other storm chasers do the same exact thing. One of these chasers is Quincy Vigal, who captures the tour vans passing by. Eerily, the tornado is somewhere in this rain,